Alex, Tom, how many of these radios did you used to have? There was a time in the 70s when every brand in America had a promotional radio attached to it. We are live at the Pavek Museum of Broadcasting. We're going to tell you why this hidden gem should be on your list of places that you should visit. Stick around.
The Pavek Museum is a world-class place when it comes to broadcasting. There's some great old treasures there. And it's just slightly off the beaten path, just slightly. M.A. Rosko, a little bit off the beaten path. We love that about her. She's visiting one of these great gems in St. Louis Park. M.A.
Yeah, maybe your kids have been here on a school tour, but it's definitely worth your while coming, especially when it's going to be so cold this weekend. It's in St. Louis Park, tucked behind the LA Fitness and the Target on 36th off of 100. And it's hard to believe in a time when we consume everything on demand that there was a time that a remote control like this was a really big deal. This is an early remote control for a 1939 Philco radio. I'll do it again because you can see now I'm dialing and then it's going to go do and it's going to change the station just like that. Fantastic. That's cool. Wow. And you guys might remember a time when the first TV remote looked something like this.
I remember.
Still got I'm sure they still got lost in the cushions even back then, but they made a really kind of funny noise, and you were sort of a big deal on your block if you had one of these. I'm joined by Steve Raymer at the Pavek Museum of Broadcasting, and we're talking about TV in this segment. I have never seen a television like this. There couldn't have been too many produced.
No, this was a big screen set for 1949. It was called the Wonder Window by Stuart Warner.
Wow. So how did it work? We sort of have a big glass lens here that's projecting and reflecting?
Yeah, the lens is more of a gimmick. It really kind of degrades it. Its image is better without it.
Okay. But then you take away the wonder of the window.
There you go.
So what's playing on there right now?
This is a show from the mid-50s. It's called Axel and His Dog.
And our viewers might remember it from?
It's a WCCO television. Yeah, it was a real popular show, and starring Clellan Card and Don Stoltz. Don, who still runs the Old Log Theater in Excelsior.
You know, you guys, I learned I've been learning something at every turn, but when our station first went on the air, it was 1955, and it wasn't KMSP, it was
KEYD.
KEYD.
And here's a typical television from 1949. That's a 7-inch screen.
That's actually a pretty good picture. Was the Twin Cities formative in the early years of television?
There was a lot of competition between WCCO and KSTP. And they put together some of the best news teams and some of the best television technology. This is a 1912 spark gap transmitter. It's a small version of the one that they used on the Titanic. By the way, we're coming up on the 100th anniversary of the sinking of the Titanic.
When the ship makes contact with the iceberg, you send out an SOS signal. And this is how it was done.
And let's hope somebody hears it.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right. So that goes on.
We're going to do it.
Well, how cool is that, you know, the history of broadcasting starts with something as, by our standards now, as primitive as this and goes through phonograph, radio, television. And over here, this is really cool. Why don't you go ahead and activate that because we only have a few seconds left. It's an automatic Victrola with a disc changer, and it is so cool. Kind of harkens back to our old close-in plays, Alex and Tom. When we come back, we're going to continue our stroll down memory lane. Be sure to check out the Pavek Museum. It's here in St. Louis Park. Back to you.